And Brett, I think my final question is a follow-on from that. We've seen the new atheists, and I'd argue that people like yourself and people like Jordan Peterson fall into a new category who's dealing with the fact that God is dead, which are the new progressives. And people like yourself who are evolutionary biologists who understand certain scientific facts about the ways in which humans operate and then have to come into conflict with folks who argue identity politics, who hold sometimes rather mythic notions of identity. And really my closing question is, how do we as individuals and how do you be a effective progressive in the 21st century? What does it mean to be a new progressive?
So the distinction that I'm going to draw might be a little hard for people to follow, but there are cryptically among us two sorts of folks. Because of the way well-being is acquired in life, it is perfectly possible to be dead wrong about the nature of the universe and do well within it, because of the role that the social architecture plays in allocating rewards. So the problem is that being dead wrong and getting ahead by being dead wrong causes wrong ideas to appear quite right. What is going on with the new voices that I think you are correctly defining them as progressive, even though some of them are right of center. Those new progressive voices seem, without exception, to be people who are operating from first principles. And the hallmark of a first principles thinker is that they are unpersuaded by a mob, right? It doesn't matter that you're the only person in the room that believes something to be true. That is immaterial with respect to whether it actually is true. And so fundamental thinkers are being actually identified and targeted by this illiberal movement, in part because they are the people who will be unpersuaded by threat. So what I would argue is that all of us need to tap into this distinction, and we need to start following first principles where they lead, even when they lead us to frightening conclusions, right? That's the part that's difficult for people, is that there's no guarantee if you do follow first principles that you will find out that everything's going to be okay, because maybe it won't. But the only hope we have of fixing the problems that we face is to confront what they actually are and to be careful in our critical thinking about what causes them and what other routes are available to us. So in essence, we just don't have any choice. First principles are where it's at, and you're either a first principles thinker or we need to be careful about what you're trying to tell us.